Hello lovely ones, welcome to your weekly reading, The Wellington Witch. My name's Lorien. Welcome back to the channel. It's lovely to have you here as always. So this is going to be for the week ahead. This is actually, Spirit asked me to be very specific for this one. This is the week of the 3rd of February to the 10th. It isn't timeless, it's definitely for this week. And I shuffled all the cards and got into it with them, and these three, as you can see here, came out with very much a theme. So I shuffled the cards, I told them what was happening. I'm saying I'm doing a reading, a 3-card or 3-pile reading for the week ahead. Please can you give me some cards for each pile? And practically an essay came out. There was an essay of all this stuff. So you have several cards in each pile from various different decks. But as you can see, these three came through very, very quickly to sort of give me a kind of guidance, I would expect, from what we can achieve from the week ahead, the next 7 days. So you have 3 choices as always: gentleness, compassion, and peace. Now, as always, I will put a 60-second meditation just in case you do want to make sure that your intuition is guiding you correctly. And I'll go into each individual card in the reading, so explain what they say, how it interprets, all that kind of stuff. Just want to say a thank you to everybody who comments and who's got a reading with me recently, who's looking forward to 2020 and watching the guidance that I have. I'm also exploring my own spiritual path alongside you guys, so I'm delving a lot more into astrology. I'm delving a lot more into certain aspects of, I don't know how to put it really, of connecting to spirit, the method in which you do that, and affirmations and law of attraction. I think that's my path for this year. So if you want to join me, make sure you subscribe and like this channel as well, or like this video, just because I hope to have as many people along with me so we can share in this journey together. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting, lots of messages coming through. Pretty sure this is going to be a long one, honestly. So it's just a good swell. It's a nice, beautiful, sunny day. So without further ado, I'm going to go into the 60-second meditation with the music here. And yeah, I'll see you in either group 1, group 2, or group 3. See you in a minute. Hello group 1. I just wanted to make sure that we were a little bit closer so you can see all the cards. So you would have chosen or been drawn to gentleness. Archangel Sandalphon, be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. Now, this could be because we are now in the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. Already, we're barely into 2020 and we've got a Mercury going retrograde. Now, this obviously will depend on what sign you're in as to how it affects you and where it will affect you in your life. For me, it's going to be creativity. Woo! So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I think the key for this week is, as we start seeing things slow down or start shifting, be gentle with yourself. Everybody believed 2020 to be this brilliant, amazing year without any aspects of hardship whatsoever. I think we're now understanding that may not be the case, but it's certainly lighter in some areas. So we have to take the good here. And I think this next week, we're going to be proved that it's going to be lighter. So as you can see, a lot of cards decided to come out today. All right, I'm just trying to decide. I'm going to go with your advice cards first. So happy family. This could be because Mercury is going retrograde in, or stationing to go retrograde in some aspect of your family life. Ooh, and these aren't reversals, these are just me putting the cards wrong. Daughter value and patience. This is also a 4. So 4 is about foundations, as is the family, happy family. The 4th house in astrology is all about that kind of mother, the emotional life, the home, academic degrees. Also, it could be that you need to be gentle with yourself regards to those areas. Patience, I think, is coming up because, again, we're starting to slow down. Mercury going into retrograde in Pisces isn't as comfortable as it would like to be. So it could be that you start to see things not really, like me at the moment, things not being able to be communicated as clearly as you'd like, in essence. So the daughter value and your happy family, some of you really, really want a happy family. Whatever form that may take. I'm not necessarily saying you want a load of kids or you want the picket fence or anything, but you want to have a happy family. And maybe for some reason you haven't been able to achieve that yet. No shame on you at all, no guilt on you at all, or something that I must stress. But I will say that there is a feeling that happy family is not necessarily gonna be the thing that gives you everything that you want. Contentment, I think, is coming through people seeing the value within you. I also feel like your family may be helping you see, in other cases, just how valuable you are to them. So similarly, they're not really going to give you value, but they see you, the value that is you. So it's not like I am only valuable because I am a mother, father, daughter. It's not that. You have different value, you have various value, and I think your family may show you your individual value as separate from them this week, or you may see it yourself because of an interaction with your family, because this is going to be something that may come across a little bit too literal for some people. I think maybe a conversation with somebody in your family, you're going to start seeing how they see you as an individual. But what they're saying is patience. If you are wanting a family, if you are wanting to be accepted by your family, if you want to make a success, maybe to prove, sorry if this is wibbling a little bit, my cat always comes in when I'm reading and she tickles the tripod. So it could be that you want to prove yourself to be a success with your family, that you want to be showing your family to make them happy that you can get to a certain point. So I'll show grandma that I'm a successful person, and that's going to require some patience and some gentleness with yourself. You don't want to be stressing about proving who you are to people who may not necessarily understand you, because you want them to give you loads of praise. Just be gentle with yourself this week. That's what I'm feeling most of all. I mean, my cousin has just been made a doctor. No one else in the family has ever been a doctor, to my knowledge. So that's going to be something that he's like the higher up now. He's like the lord of the family. But it's that kind of feeling that there's a thing where it could be a form of contention for others. For instance, I was the first one to go to university out of my family, but he is now a doctor. So what did I do with my degree? That kind of thing could be playing on your mind a little bit this week. But I do see harmony should be in your home. Okay, so we have 5 of Wands and the Chariot. Yes. Okay. So the 5 of Wands to me comes through with a little bit of too many cooks spoiling the broth. Disagreement, strife, a little bit of adversity. It could be to do with too many people arguing, trying to drag you into gossip you would rather not be bothered with. You know, it could be people that you respect and admire, and they're just trying to drag you into petty gossip and go, oh, did you hear, by the way, did you hear, did you hear? So that disagreement, that kind of conflict is not really what you need. It could also be conflicting energies of ideas. But you have the Chariot. And the Chariot is here to help you. The Chariot comes in Also a 7, so patience is a 7. So this could be actually asking you to kind of, what's the quote from Shakespeare? Bind or tie your courage to the sticking place, I think it is. This is your will, your self-assertion, your control of a situation. This is you wanting to get to that particular point in your life. So it's you ignoring any outside stresses, people stresses, work stresses. This is you saying, you know what, I'm heading off now. I'm determined to do this, whether to impress your family or not. This week, you're going to be focusing on something that is incredibly personal to you, incredibly, how to put it, important, I would say, because it feels like you need to do something. So even though it's saying have patience to let it manifest, let it grow, it doesn't mean that you don't have to work at it. You can still work at it. You can still continue this path. You don't just have to throw tools down and go, oh, well, Lorien on YouTube told me to be patient so I don't have to do any work this week. That's not how it works. Not that I imagine that's how you talk. But it's something that just feels like, yeah, you're going into a purposeful space. So this is the archetype, the kind of energy that you could embrace, or the type of energy you should shun away from this week, which is the vampire. Alright, so this could apply to family as well. Family. So the light attribute that you could embrace is that makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. So this could be expectation, this could be the inner feeling that you have of competition. I must be better than them. I must be better than them. I must, competing with the Joneses. You don't want that. You don't want to compete with the Joneses. And the shadow attributes are depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining or codependency. You could have family who say, why haven't you done this yet? Why haven't you done this yet? Because you're desperately trying to achieve something and they want you to do it so they don't have to bother working anymore or something like that. So it's going to be you understanding who is for you and who is against you this week as well, whether it be family or otherwise. Chariot again, definitely. So the Chariot coming up again is absolutely enforcing the will, self-assertion, your hard control here. It feels so much like you are actually going through some transformations. The Tower, not always a bad card, to be honest with you. The Tower mainly comes across when it's a need for change, release, revelation. You could actually have that eureka moment this week that goes, wow, and then you bring your horses together and stride forwards, and it's absolutely amazing. So there could be something absolutely incredible for you this week where you get this revelation of, aha, the jigsaw falls into place and you can continue it. But the Tower here, again, I think could be to do with some kind of outside expectations maybe not being met, or something just feels like it's you're holding on too hard to something that is too shifty. So it could be that this week you realise, oh, I shouldn't have really held on to that too much, or I should have actually listened to my gut a bit more. Because if you embrace the thing of, okay, I'm going to see who lights me up and who drains me, it could be the ending of a friendship. It could be seeing somebody from a completely different point of view this week. It could be shifting your perspective to go, oh, it takes one sentence from somebody, one sentence to change your perspective sometimes. For instance, they don't bother with you as much as you bother with them, do they? They never come and ask you how you are, do they? It's that question that make you go, oh, no, they don't actually ask me ever how I am. And then you actually see things from a completely different point of view. It may be hard for some of you to take, realizing that, they're not as into whatever friendship, business partnership is, or just that they're a different person than you thought they were, and that kind of shift may surprise you. Am I thinking that you're going to be a damsel or dude in distress? No. but I do feel you're going to put your nose to the grindstone this week, and you are going to definitely work ahead. You are going to be walking, striding, riding, whatever it is, away from this toxic, moany, gossipy energy in order to create the daughter value, in order to create that happy family dynamic, and to have patience with yourself, because this spoke to you. First of all, be gentle with yourself and others if you can manage it. Some people, you know, they may just be shouty because that's what they're going through, but I honestly feel this week is a week of hard work. Not going to be hard to get through it necessarily, but hard work in your dedication, in your chariot, you know, victory thing. You could actually be a Scorpio, because this is the card of Scorpio. So it could be that you're, actually no, it's not the card of Scorpio, it's my card. I think it's the card of Taurus. Don't quote me on that, because again, I'm having a bit of a Mercury and Pisces moment right now. But I do think you could be a Scorpio or a Taurus, or there could be some elements here of very strong earth shaky moment. Hopefully that's not literally an earthquake, but we'll see. Spirit works in mysterious ways, so we'll see. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. If you would like to like this video or interested in getting a reading from myself, all the ways of contacting me is down below. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the week brings you. Do let me know in the comments below how this works for you, and I'll speak to you guys very soon. I'm now going to go into group 2. Hello, group 2. Okay, so this will be your card. So if you were drawn to this one, this is compassion. Soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So this was sort of a similar message to the first one, to be honest. This is mostly to do with feeling that continuation of softness within you, feeling a little bit more understanding about maybe what you're going through, feeling more introverted maybe, and focusing on how you consider yourself in day-to-day life this week especially. Now we are, as of today, as of filming, we are in the shadow phase of Mercury going retrograde. Hooray! I know everyone's absolutely thrilled by this prospect. And it's going retrograde in Pisces. Now, as it's retrograde in Pisces, is actually going to bring a little bit of discomfort depending on where it is in your chart, where Pisces is. So I'd recommend having a look at that just in case, but it's not going to be necessarily bad. It's just going to have a little bit of inconsistency, a little bit of dreamlike quality. Maybe your words don't come out correctly. Maybe things just get lost in translation. And obviously it may be a thing to not plan to do anything new within that time. But you'll start to see the shadow phase creep in this week, which I think is why Spirit were like, you have to do a specific weekly reading for this week ahead. So that's kind of where I am at the moment with that. So let me have a look. And like I said at the beginning, there was like an essay coming out in these, so hopefully we'll get some good things for you guys. This is not just reversals, this is just because I put the cards down incorrectly. So you have the thinking woman, walking away, and attachment. Okay, so sometimes the most compassionate thing you can do is to understand that the best option is to walk away from something. Attachment could be to a friendship or to a job or a thing or something like that, a situation where you feel more like you have to hold on to it, you have to be there. It gives you some form of comfort to stay in that pattern, to stay in that mindset. I feel like though this isn't being true to you, true to yourself, and there could be something that you feel like a habit you need to break or a process you need to break, something very hard and difficult because you've maybe developed it or adopted it over the course of the last few years. I'm seeing 12 years for some of you, so maybe there's going to be something there. Then walking away, so you are walking away from something. I see this interestingly because they both end in 7. So I do see the fact that this is kind of giving me 8 of Cups energy, so you're definitely choosing to end an attachment, choosing to end this maybe strict idea that I have to For instance, if you're a freelancer, I have to reduce my rates because then I'll get more people, but then you'll get more work and you won't be earning enough money. So it's that kind of balance. Maybe you're thinking that I have to walk away from this friendship or this relationship or something because I'm just not happy in how it's evolving, or it's not evolving and that's why I have to leave it. The thinking woman, though, gives you this sense of understanding about why. So you're not just doing this from your inner fear, you're not doing this from your inner heart chakra or anything like that. It's just a balance between your head and your heart, I feel, within this. So the thinking woman coming in here, she's giving you the opportunity to really go deep into your psyche, go deep and think, okay, so this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is maybe something that I can work with. Either way, I do believe the thinking woman is going to be either somebody coming in to help you, like give you the rehearse a script to say to this person or do something, or it's going to be you basically evolving into this, say, okay, I'm going to make the decisions on head based today, not emotion based, because Mercury is stationing to go retrograde, and I think this is now going to be something that I need to work on, using my head at all times. Not that you don't use your head, but sometimes it can be very difficult in order to see where it is you're going. Now, 3 cards came out for you from the Enchanted Tarot deck. Oops. So what do we have here? 5 of Hearts. Interesting enough, group 1 also had a 5. Prince of Swords, Queen of Wands. So you could be an air sign or a fire sign. I just feel like this could be something similar with these, actually. These mirror kind of cool and kind of synchronized. So the 5 of Hearts with attachment, you know, this could be the fact that you're feeling a little bit apathetic, lost, regretful. I feel there are things that you are mourning almost, but it's for the better in the end. That's what it feels like to me. You're cutting off the attachments of things that make you feel like you have to censor yourself, that you have to dull yourself, or what is it called? You just have to thin yourself down, dilute yourself, that's the word. You just want to dilute yourself in order to fit in with people, to not rock the boat, but you still have that attachment to them. I think this week you're understanding where that is being a bit toxic in your life. So you're actually deciding to walk away. Now this is the Prince of Swords. Prince of Swords is giving you this sense of opinion, this haste, this action. This is you leading into either a battle. This is you leading forwards. So I believe this week is a time for you to put some plans that you've made into action, whether it's the ideas that you have as to how to approach talking to somebody about this issue, or whether it's telling you in some weird way this isn't going to work, so you have to walk away, and you have everything you need in order to do that. You have every tool at your disposal to do that. I feel like that's going to be quite a good, what are they called, thing to have in your armory. And the Queen of Wands, this could be the thinking woman or somebody who gives you the perspective. So she could be a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius woman. It could even be that you have these aspects, and so you rely a lot on these aspects within your chart in order to fall back on them. But they are basically, she's coming in to give you this perspective. And what she normally does is a very entrepreneurial, exuberant vitality about her. Like, she will say she's coming, and she will, but she'll come like 1 minute to deadline, that kind of feeling. Maybe this is something that you can take on board from her. Maybe she's there to give you advice out of the blue. She could be some kind of karmic sister who comes in and actually gives you the advice that you need. But either way, you're embracing this kind of philosophical truth, I think. There is a Sagittarius element here with the thinking woman and the Queen of Wands, because it could be a very, very definitive thing. I'm trying to find the words, they're not being as clear at the moment. Again, Mercury and Pisces, thank you very much. It just feels like philosophical things like Sagittarius are about truth, Aries are about truth as well. They go about it in different ways though. I'm not saying you have to be blunt to the point of making people cry, as sometimes Sagittarius can do, but I'm just making you kind of aware that some things are going to come from this kind of fiery energy. Right, so this is the energy that you should embrace or steer away from this week. Victim mentality. Okay. So in the light attribute, if you were to embrace it, it prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. And I think that's the attachment here. You may feel very attached to a situation that is giving you this victim mentality. I have to dilute myself. I have to shrink inwards. I have to go yes sir, no sir, three bags full sir, agree with everything that somebody says, or feel like you can't say your opinion. So it could be even that in a friendship group, you sit there being quiet most of the time, or you're afraid of saying the wrong thing. You're attached to the wrong people. You're attached to the wrong people, and they're not going to help you grow. And that could be you're more intelligent maybe emotionally and also intellectually than they are. I'm getting that. So it could be that you're kind of looking at it from a different perspective, but you're afraid of saying that perspective because you'll be vilified, and because maybe you haven't had, you know, a lot of friendships in the past. You're feeling worried that if you were to let it go, you wouldn't get any more friends. That's not the case. The shadow attributes of this card is playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. This could be you or it could be others. Personal boundaries is the one that came forwards to me a great deal here. That you're actually being delivered from something with regards to this here as well. Okay. There's something about muddied sacral chakra here, or muddied solar plexus, so maybe work on healing those this week as well. But enough's enough at some point this week for you guys, and I think that you're going to start to see who makes you feel like you're shrinking inwards, and you're going to do something about that. So your cards advice is, Nine of Wands, Five of Swords. You've got Five of Hearts here. So there could be some gossip, there could be some people, some conflict about it. I feel for some reason that you may be afraid of showing off. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that you may be afraid of celebrating your achievements, celebrating your like being happy about something, because you don't want people to say, well, that's not any good, or to just go, all right, cool. Like, oh my god, I just got the promotion of my dreams. All right, cool. You know, if you're getting that response from people, that's going to be really damaging for you and your self-esteem. So I think this, as well as people thinking that you're showing off when you're just celebrating your achievements, this is the type of attachment that they're wanting to leave. The Nine of Wands is really actually positive. It's saying that you're almost there on something. So this is coming to fruition. You're almost there. You're persisting. You're very resilient. And you should continue going. You're almost there. You're almost at this point of freedom. And I'm really, really excited to see what this comes out with for you in the very, very near future. But in the meantime, thank you so much for spending the time with me today. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, like it, or comment below, let me know how things are going for you this week. I would love to see how things are faring for you. But if you have any questions, or if you're looking into things or interested in getting a reading, all the links are down below in the description box. But in the meantime, sending you loads of blessings. I'm going to go on now to group 3. Hello group 3. So you would have been drawn to peace. Now peace is saying to you that it comes from remembering only love is real. So any anxieties you may have this week, anything that you may think is kind of pushing you this way, that way, not really understanding how to maneuver yourself, understand what's happening around you, getting a bit overwhelmed, only the force of love and respect and happiness for yourself is real, and that's all that matters, really. That's all that matters this week, is that you're treating yourself with some sort of leniency. I feel like because this is the day that Mercury stations to go retrograde, so this is going to go retrograde in Pisces. Now this could be meaning that you don't get your meanings through, which I've felt recently trying to speak to people. So it could be that you mix your words up, that kind of thing, because Mercury isn't really at home in Pisces. It's not as fluid or strong or direct in Pisces, which is kind of wishy and dreamy and all that kind of stuff. So you may feel that you just want some peace from some kind of chatterboxes around you, or just the stress of everything that's occurring. So let me see and start with your energy oracle deck. And again, I've turned them the wrong way around. So you have woman holding a heart, 5th chakra. Again, communication could be a thing, and cornucopia. So you haven't actually got a bad few cards here. The woman holding a heart, she comes forwards in a very sort of romantic fashion, but I just think that it may be that you're speaking from the heart this week, because the 5th, see what I mean, chakra is to do a lot with having that divine energy, understanding what you say to people has an effect. So whatever word you say, maybe do it through the opportunity of keeping the peace, or at least saying your piece and then making do with it. That could also be an option, because I think for some of you, you haven't really been able to find that balance. It might have been something that you struggled with, you know, and weren't able to actually come forward and say anything, or say what you meant at the right time, put your thoughts into words on a page, that kind of thing. You may find that difficult this week, especially if you've got any business emails to send, invitation correspondence is coming through here. So it could be like, oh, will you join me for this birthday do, that kind of thing. It could be that you don't really want to go, but you don't really want to say yes or no and commit to it this week, which is fine. What you need to do is make sure that you're acting from your heart chakra at all times. Make sure that you feel energy, creativity in every way. Acknowledge that you're not alone, and that there's a higher power and energy that's always conspiring to create more happiness in your life. And I think that this is what comes from that. So when you speak from the heart this week, when you maybe consider your words before you say them or put them down, maybe that's why you're finding it difficult, this is waiting for you. And I think you will be grateful for the universe that has, you know, conspired to align these opportunities for you. But I do feel that your immediate goals, you know, as if they've already happened, you should be actually looking forward to reaping the rewards. Something here, though, I think is lost in translation. It may be you speaking to close loved ones, friends, you know, work stews and things like that. So let's have a see what your other cards. These two want to come through. Ooh, 2 pentacles. Okay, 4 and 5 of pentacles. I do get a work vibe here, or at least project vibe. I feel with these two, there's a lot of reliability that's at stake. So maybe you're worried about your reputation and how that comes across, and get a lot of earth signs here: Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. There's something that brings to light maybe some worries, maybe some insecurities about where you're putting your energies, maybe some, like, if this happens, for instance, if your savings or if your stability, if your security has a bit of a wobble, you know, you're clutching onto your pearls almost. So you're clutching your pearls, no. So it could be that you're feeling a little bit nervous about the procedures of things, or whether you should do something, or whether you should risk it, or whether you should wait a while, or whether you should proceed, or something like that. The 5 of Pentacles is telling you kind of to not give in to the worry. I think actually these are both causing one another. So the worry of not having what you need is making you cling on to things in the 4 of Pentacles. And clinging on to Pentacles, clinging on to, see what I mean with Mercury? Clinging on to your possessions and your control is making or stoking the fear that you may have to worry of this insecurity in the future. Be open. I'm just going to move this back a little bit so you can see more. But definitely be more open with what you're looking into here. Be more peaceful. I think this worry, if you spoke to somebody about it, if you, a loved one, a husband, a wife, partner, a friend, therapist, doesn't matter. If you spoke to somebody saying, look, I'm really worried about this happening or not happening, think that it'd probably lead you to some peace. Or just stop going over and over and over it in your mind if you can. Maybe speak to your guides. Let's have a look at this advice. This is the energy you should embrace this week and the energy that you should avoid. So the light attributes that you should embrace is the capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others and a willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. I always see this as well as maybe you're looking into the things and you're being quite reasonable and you have a vision of what you want to achieve. But then that, if you have suffered anxiety, comes here and the feeling of, oh, what if it goes wrong? What if it goes wrong? What if I lose everything? Or what if it goes right? And this shadow is selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. So again, it could be realistic. Dream. That's what I'm seeing here. Dream. Use your solar plexus because there's orange here and here. Use it with your sacral chakra, use your sacral chakra to use it with your solar plexus of the yellow that I'm seeing a lot here. There is green, so it's also your heart, speaking from your heart, but I think in order to feel more secure about doing it and about going forwards this week, you need to focus on the two chakras that are lower down. So it's the creativity of your sacral and the good instinct and self-confidence of your solar plexus. Let's see, your energy advice cards. Walk away from something, behavior, or something that is not serving you anymore, people who are not serving you anymore. I think group 1 got this as well. 6 of Wands says if you do that, you will actually succeed. In a nutshell. So essentially, if you wanted to change, if you want to escape the disappointment or the thought of disappointment of people just peeing you off and really disappointing you and the stress of it, there's a door here. You can go straight through that. You can just open the door, go straight through. You don't have to deal with it anymore. And if you do, this has kind of lit the way for you. This is growth. This is self-confidence, magnifying, the showing magnifying or magnetism or something. You're bringing in something by being a magnet this week. So if you can get this sorted out, if you can get this kind of anxiety over something or inability to put things into words as to maybe what you want, this is going to be helping you. Again, orange. So this kind of comes forward in a very blinding orange. Sort out your lower frequencies, ground yourself this week. Make sure that you're operating with your feet firmly on the ground. Then I think you'll see your heart chakra kind of clean up a little bit, which should enable you to speak your truth and say to people who you may not want to disappoint yourself, but you'll be able to speak to them properly. I hope that makes sense. Good things are coming to you this week. I just feel that there's something that's giving you some anxiety unnecessarily, and if you deal with that, it's actually going to be pretty good. You're going to start to be able to find your voice again. You're going to be able to start to find your no as well as your yes, because no is a very spiritual word as well. You can say to these people, no, I am not doing this for you. No, I'm not doing that. So what is it you feel the need that you need to achieve this week? And then work towards that. But I do think meditating on your sacral and your solar plexus is going to really help you clear up the fears of your heart and the fears of the material. Work with your communication to say, nope, had enough of that, bye bye. So that's probably going to be something that you see this week. Do let me know in the comments below if this resonated with you. I'd love to hear back from you. And as always, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. It really does help me get my message out to people who may need it. Not just me, oh, I want to be famous on YouTube. No, I just want to get my message out to people. So thank you very much again for being with me. I wish you the very best of luck this week. And I'll speak to you guys very soon.